I'm Ciara Karam and I'm the Environmental Justice Policy Officer working in Trócaire. Trócaire has been working on issues of climate change for a long time because it impacts most on rural people that are in the developing world that are trying to eke out their livelihoods from the natural environment. Their agriculture will be rain-fed, so if there's any sort of a change in the rain pattern, that has a huge impact on their farming. So in Malawi, you've got a population that are incredibly vulnerable. About 80% depend on rain-fed agriculture for their farming and for their livelihoods. About 75% would be considered below the poverty line. You've got about 1 million people living with HIV/AIDS. So you've got an incredibly vulnerable population there. And then the impacts of climate change on top of that can have devastating impacts. When the rainfall patterns shift, it means people are unsure when to plant. It means they have maybe planted and then the rains don't come, so then they've lost that crop for that season. If you're dependent on one crop, you're more at risk because if that fails, then you've no comeback. Whereas if they spread their risk across a number of crops, and if one of them fails because the rain doesn't come, well, maybe one or two others might be okay in drier conditions, so they might produce a crop. That ability to adapt is one of the key problems that households would face. They have significantly less resources than we would here, so that's why the impacts of climate change would be so different in developing countries. There is one lady that in particular I remember. She was a lady called Lone Solomone, and she lived in Malawi, and she was 62, and she was looking after her elderly mother, who I think must have been 80 something, 5 grandchildren and a son. She had told me then that with the support of our local partner Catacom, that she had received some seeds for different crops, so like cassava, sorghum, groundnuts, rice she was even growing, and this was making a huge difference to her life. She said that, like, you know, if one crop fails, at least she can rely on the other. She's not at a total loss and not totally vulnerable to the natural environment, so that if the rains don't arrive, she can just hope that one of the crops will produce for her. And I suppose she really sticks in my mind because the challenges she faced were, I thought, really intense and really extreme. Like, she was looking after a number of sick people. Her son, who had come back from the city, was HIV positive and he was very ill. Her mother was very ill, and she herself was like a frail woman who wasn't too well herself. And she said to me that, like, often she got sick after working so hard in the field, and she'd often suffer with her own health, but if she stopped working, she stopped eating. There's a limit to how much people can do, and we see that in the UN negotiations at the moment. Like, for a long time there was a focus on providing support for adaptation. This last year it really became a pressing issue to have this thing called loss and damage, which is basically an acceptance that there's only so much people can adapt to, and then there's going to be losses and damages and they need to be compensated for. Ireland and the developed world in general have a huge responsibility in terms of addressing climate change, and Trócaire would see that as like a fundamental part of our work on the issue of climate change, is to actually ensure that developed countries take responsibility for this problem that they've historically created. I mean, it's already been stated that we're on track to exceed the 2 degrees Celsius increase in temperatures, and even at that limit we're seeing devastating impacts, and we will see more, and if we go beyond that, who knows like what will happen. So it's really crucial that Ireland brings in a domestic law that will limit our emissions, and we have made some progress in that. There's a heads of bill out now at the moment, and the government is planning to bring in full legislation this year. The problem is we need to ensure that it's actually going to be effective. There's no point in having a piece of legislation if it doesn't actually state targets of what we want to get to, where we want to get to in terms of the emission reductions we want to make. I'm not sure if the government fully realised the urgency of the climate problem. There's a lot of lip service paid to the problem, and it's easy to speak about action on climate change. It's much harder to actually do it, and I think the government are proving with this sort of bill that they are not really willing to take it as seriously as we would have hoped. it's definitely a matter of urgency. There's nothing in the whole range of problems that Ireland and the EU are facing. I think there's nothing quite so urgent, because the longer we leave it, the more it's going to cost us. So I think it's really important that people in Ireland also, speak to their local representative, tell them they're concerned about climate change, push the government to do what they need to do, which is bring in a strong domestic bill.